Welcome to Indie Attack today with Kelson and
Woody.
as always. Today we have another Ludum Dare entry in our Ludum Dare 30 week. We have Red Entity, and this is by Danbo.
So,
This is a game where you're a little bunny girl who can turn into a giant mech creature.
I don't know, do you turn into the mech creature or do you have a mech suit?
Or it's summoned, or is it summoned?
Some means of that.
There's a transformation element that occurs, and
The Sailor Moon-esque
yeah, it's
sequence.
a little bit. And you are fighting in a arena style game on a little 2D platform. You are fighting waves of a variety of different enemies that come at you relentlessly.
Your mech suit has a moveset and powers, your bunny girl has a moveset and powers, and it's almost kind of like an arena-based Contra game.
Yeah.
You fight a lot of robots, they get more complex, and there are in larger numbers the more successive waves of them that you fight.
So the idea is that, you know, you go Super Saiyan as the mech when things get too overwhelming. Yeah, and your goal is to get through 5 waves, and then you can unlock another level that is more 10 waves, I think, or something like that. It's like that's the kind of, and then you can try to get through that, and it's harder. And so yeah, just the sort of simple. It really feels like one of those proof of concept games, you know.
Yeah. This game, it's a pretty solid little character action game, kind of on a 2D plane thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, it's definitely your solid foundation. You know, you could add more characters to this, more stages to this.
Yeah.
And, you know, have them play differently. You know, you could do an actual just side-scrolling 2D beat-em-up, shoot-em-up kind of a game.
Yeah.
With these characters.
That's all I really missed.
And I gotta say, the art for this game is actually really good.
Yeah.
Too. The pixel art's nice, and then also just the promo artwork they have going along with this, which I'm pretty sure is like official art, is actually really nice artwork.
Yeah, anime kind of style stuff that like just
it reminds
looks
me
good.
a lot of the concept art for Mega Man Zero, which I really like. So, weird pull,
Right.
but
Hey. Actually makes a lot of sense. I think
Yeah.
Mega Man is a fair enough comparison to this, you know, like if this functioned in a more Mega Man way, I think if you just made it side scrolling and like some platform elements, but like with the same mechanics, like, you know.
Now, I did have a couple of issues with controls, specifically the mech. Like, your Bunny Girl feels fine to use, and I liked that the mech and curved differently. But the mech was kind of hard to control. It seemed a little imprecise at times. Like, you jump, and your jumps were huge.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily have a lot of control over where you went.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, again, you know, and probably, you know, limitations of Ludum Dare, but the mech was just, like, it's one of those things where they're like, okay, we're gonna make this thing, like, overpowered, and I just imagine them just, like, turning gravity, like, to nothing for him, you know, just being like, okay, like...
Yeah, like, it's a good panic button.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like,
for sure. You can get out of
when you want to
dodge.
not die, because you're basically invincible.
And, like, literally you can just, like, I mean, I had, so personally I ran into several mechanical issues, and I'm not going to hold it against, but I will say that it was peppered my thoughts a little bit where, like, I would just fall through the map. I would jump through the map, basically, through the top ceiling of my window, and eventually I would just sort of resurface somewhere, you know?
Yeah, I didn't run into anything like that. I ran into some, like, jankiness. Nothing that, like, broke the game or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see maybe running into that, so...
Yeah, well, it was funny. It wouldn't break the game. It would just sort of, I would disappear for a time, like, either underneath or above.
It's one of the little tricks.
Yeah, and then I would come back. So, but yeah, so those are just a few, you know, in the future, I'm sure they would, you know, work out those kinks. But yeah, I think I would say it's a fun little game, and I would recommend it.
Yeah, I feel like
know?
checking it out. It doesn't take long to just try it out and see how it plays.
Definitely.
So, yeah, check out Red Entity.